Good afternoon. It's Thursday and I thought that I would just pop on and talk to you very quickly with some top tips with regard to when you're working with your life partner or you're working with family members, following on from a conversation I had with a lovely client this morning. So when you're working in a partnership, especially with your life partner, or you're working within a family business with other family members, people that are close to you, people that you don't just work with but you also, love and have a relationship with, having clearly defined roles within that business is absolutely essential and fundamental. Hi Victoria, it's absolutely fundamental and essential to the success of your business, but also to your daily routines and your schedules. If you don't have clearly defined role responsibility and clearly defined roles, what will happen is quite often, through no fault of the other person, they will try and kind of jump into what it is that you're doing, or equally have an opinion about what you're doing and kind of try and judge what it is that you're doing. And equally, you can end up overlapping with one another, and it can cause so many problems. Trust me, I've worked for 21 years in my family business with my now husband, and we have got really clear role responsibilities. I know exactly what I'm meant to be doing within that business. To be fair, it's more sort of on a consultancy basis now, but he equally knows what it is that he's meant to be doing for the success of the business. So for instance, if you're say a partnership team, so you're working and living with your life partner, and one of you is, let's talk trades, one of you's on the tools and the other one deals with all the back office stuff. So the person that's on the tools really shouldn't have shouldn't be judgmental or tell the person that's doing the back office stuff how to do it, because they should be able to do that without having the other person telling them what they should and shouldn't be doing. Equally, when you're the person doing the back office stuff, so that might be admin, accounts, marketing, dealing with staff, dealing with all the other issues that come into a business, you're not the one out there on the tools. So equally, respect that person that's out there on the tools. If you have to share an office with your life partner or a family member that's working with you, again, have sort of, clear defined areas and spaces that you work in. Have boundaries so that you both, don't try and share one desk. It truly does not work. It does not work. Because even if with the best will in the world, there might be a moment when you think, do you know what, you can have the desk of an evening and I'm going to have the desk during the day, for instance. Guaranteed there will be an evening where you need to use that desk or that computer, that pen, whatever it is that's on that desk, that calculator. So you need clear defined areas of your working space, whether that's, if you're working from home and you don't have a dedicated office space, whether that's one of you is working in the dining room and one of you is working in the kitchen, if you happen to be working from home at the same time. Because again, you're not going to antagonise one another then, and you're not going to be too judgy about what it is the other person's doing. So the way that I would suggest you go about this, if you're finding that, things are getting kind of fraught, or within your family business stroke partnership, that you're kind of not working well together and that there are issues, there are problems, if you sit down together once a month. So the first thing I'd suggest, I'm going to go back a bit. The first thing I would suggest, clearly defined role responsibilities. Who does what? Even if this means you need to sit together or sit with the people that you're working with within your family, and you literally sit there and say, right, you do this, you do that, I do that. Yeah, with no overlaps, no crossovers. And then absolutely resolute and promise to respect one another's areas of expertise, areas of skill set, because we all have different areas that we're really good at. So that's number one. Do that. Work out who is best at doing what and what their roles are within the business. sit down together at least once a month, put it in the diary, actually plan that time together, plan it, put it in a diary when both of you know that you can both attend. And again, take it away from, especially if you work from home, take it away from the home environment where you're not going to get distracted. And I know that's easier said than done, but trust me, again, everything that I say on here is speaking from years and years and years and years and years and years of business experience. I haven't just pulled this stuff out of thin air, you know, I'm not making it up. So take yourselves away from the home office environment. If you are fortunate enough to have a separate office or a separate work premises, then shut off all distractions, put the phones on call forwarding to an answering service, turn everything off that is going to distract you, and have an agenda. So every month that you meet and have a meeting, you have an agenda, so you know exactly what it is that you need to talk about. Have objections, have have things that you need to resolute at that point in time. So you start off talking about all the things that need to be addressed, the objectives that you want to come out with at the end of that meeting, so that if you've got it on an agenda, you don't veer off track. But equally, give each other time to talk about your own goals, the things that you want to achieve. Please don't disrespect the other person or their plans or ideas. You know, even if you think they're a little bit mad or bonkers, or they're not going to work, or they might take too much investment at this point in time, respect them and say, okay, well, we're going to put that on our overall plans for the business. At least it's there and you're respecting that person. So biggest things with role responsibilities, working with a family member, working with a life partner, is definitely respect. It's definitely about listening to one another. It's definitely about valuing each other and what each other brings to the business, because as I said, we've all got different skill sets and we've all got different experiences that we bring to these businesses. But equally, have an agenda, sit down together once a month. It needs to happen at least once a month at the very, very least. Talk about any issues within your business, talk about your plans, any suggestions you've got, and as I said, respect one another. So that's fundamental when you're working with a life partner or with within a family business. So that's it from me. I hope I've given you some valuable tips there. What I'd really like you to do for me is, if when you see me on a Facebook Live and you like what it is, thank you, Stephen, thank you. It is respect is absolutely key, fundamental to the success of any partnership, If you like what it is that I've said on here, then I would really, really appreciate it if you could share my lives, if you could share my videos or share my page with your friends and followers. That would be absolutely fantastic. You know, geographically now, we don't have to stick to just working within our own key location. Because of this wonder of technology, we can work with anybody around the world. And you know, and I want businesses around the world to be able to work productively and with success, and also with some profit as well. And I'm especially passionate about small businesses, as you all know, and even more especially passionate about working with people that work with their families, family businesses, because you know, I've worked in one for 21 years, over 21 years. And you know, and it's fantastic, and it can work if you just do it right and respect. So the word for Thursday is respect one another. So that's it from me, and have a fantastic rest of the day. I'll be on here at 12 o'clock tomorrow on Friday. Hopefully, if you're around and you jump on and you want to come on and tell me what you've been doing that week there or this week, then that would be awesome. So watch out tomorrow, 12 o'clock on Friday.